Assalamu alaikum, brother Imam.
Wa alaikum assalam. Speak to me.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Alaikum
How's it going,
assalam.
brother? Assalamu alaikum, Rashid. How
Yes,
you doing,
sir.
brother?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I'm doing well, my good brother.
Good, man. Assalamu alaikum, Adam.
Walaikum assalam. Sounds like Ma'am Tarek. How you doing, bro?
Walaikum assalam.
Alaikum, brother Adam.
Walaikum assalam. I recognize her voice.
Yes, sir.
So how you been, brother?
Oh man, between San Diego and St. Louis and just regular old everyday life, my brother. I'm just hanging in there. Families and this, that, and the other, man. But I'm good. I'm doing really good.
Alhamdulillah. That's good.
Yes, sir. You gotta tell us how to get on your show, man. I've been trying to get on your show on Thursday, and you guys changed up on us and everything. So I'm just trying to find what's the new format.
Man, they went to Zoom finally, and so I logged on to Zoom to do my program. One but two other people on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sister Martha was one of them. And then she said I had somebody coming on, and I was listening in. I couldn't hear her. They had everybody calling their conference call number.
Okay. And she was trying to merge them in.
Whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I've been trying.
I mean, if everybody's over there, why y'all have me over here? It's a mess. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a mess. And since I've logged in there with my Zoom, now when I log into Zoom over here, y'all see me, but I don't see me.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I see 4 people on the call. Mine ain't nowhere up there. So I gotta figure out how to. I don't know. They got it all messed up, bro.
Okay.
And it's tax time, and the last thing I want to do is get ready to do a program and take the time out to do it.
Can't get
And
on.
these kind of glitches.
Yes.
So anyway.
Okay. Alhamdulillah.
That's where we at. I'm gonna
Okay.
probably end up when Ramadan hit, I'm gonna definitely probably end up not doing the program during Ramadan.
Right.
So when I have a quick question.
Yeah.
When you have a Zoom account, there are dial-in numbers already associated with the Zoom account to get you directly in there.
I brought that to their attention.
Okay.
I said, well, they're gonna be called up anyway, so call the Zoom number.
Right.
But we want to keep the conference line number in case there are glitches in the future. Then we can whatever.
Man,
All
if
right.
you got a glitch in Zoom, everything else is gonna glitch.
Exactly.
So I mean,
Rabbani, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
how's it going, Rabbani?
How y'all doing this day?
Doing well.
Alhamdulillah, good. Just
Yeah, I'm
doing
good.
my studies early. I got the reading, and then forgot the time. You know what I mean? Time goes quick when you
Yes, sir.
read interested.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Omar.
Walaikum assalam.
Yeah. Omar.
So I know we're waiting on Talib, and I don't know when Kalita is going to jump on this morning, but because we got to do a little practice for next week as far as how we're going to open and all that type of thing. But before we officially get started, this week, 2 different programs. One of them was last night, CWSC program last night. I want to say may have been a CWSC. No, it wasn't a CWSC. It was a book club program Thursday night, reading commentary on the Quran. I guess a bunch of thought leaders in our community got together and put together a book of commentaries on particular ayats or surahs in the Quran, supposedly tafsirs of Imam W.D. Muhammad. And in both settings, there was a question about the night journey, of whether or not the night journey was real, whether it was physical or it was spiritual, and all of that, and whether or not Muhammad did the vertical, he had done the vertical, whether he did the horizontal and actually went beyond the lote tree. And I just want to get comments of what you guys think.
Can you repeat that?
So on the night journey, where Muhammad boarded Barak, the flying mule, donkey, whatever, and went into the heavens to the 7th level where Prophet Ibrahim resides, and then was shown the sacred tree, which you cannot see beyond. He made that journey. The question was brought up and debated as to whether or not that was actual physical experience, because Sister Aisha said he never left his bed. I'm sure this is in Hadith, because it's definitely, I don't remember her saying that in the Quran, so it's in Hadith. Or whether it was a spiritual journey. In other words, Allah takes our souls by night, and on this particular night, He took Muhammad's soul and allowed him to make that journey and see these sights, see these things, and have his spirit renewed and strengthened and all that kind of thing. So that was one thing, whether it was physical or it was a spiritual journey. And what was the other part of it they were debating? Oh, whether once he had vertically went through the 7 different levels and then saw the sacred tree, whether he had a horizontal journey where he went beyond the tree. So that was, they were
Brother Edward.
hashing that around.
Brother Edward.
Yes.
Did they tell y'all before y'all joined the discussion to make some tea?
No. See, number one, okay. I can't say they didn't, because I joined late on both occasions.
Oh, okay.
I was late. So maybe they said,
So you was okay. So you was
maybe
okay.
they said,
I mean,
I was
that,
okay.
That's one of them first resurrection meetings, right? The brother used to be in drinking black coffee and tea or something, whatever.
That's right. And
Okay,
busting Adams. Busting Adams.
Huh?
Busting Adams.
Yeah.
ATOM.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Man.
Oh,
I mean,
my
how's that gonna solve our problem, brother?
It's not, brother, but still,
I mean, that's right. They got too much time on their hands.
Good. Oh my goodness.
Man.
Oh gosh.
I mean, right there, they mentioned his spirit, right? His soul.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that spiritual?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I figured out what the problem was. Why I couldn't see myself.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Martha.
Alaikum assalam, everyone.
Walaikum assalam.
In the scriptures,
under view, there's a button that says hide self view.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I must have hit that somewhere
Also,
along the line. That's why I've never been able to see myself.
also, the Quran has revealed the fundamental and the fundamentals,
Right.
and
allegorical.
Allegorical.
Right.
So, hey, listen, balancing your material life and your spiritual life is always a challenge. So,
yep.
I'll leave it at that because I just want to keep my mind clear.
That's right. That's right.
All right. All right. So we're still waiting on Talib and Sister Khalida, but let's go ahead and open up this morning. Imam Tariq, will you open us up this morning?
Everybody's muted. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم.
I think I was on mute. Huh?
Well, I was able to hear you. So
okay,
I finished it off.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I just realized that no one said anything. All right, we're good then.
I finished it off for you, brother.
Yes, you did.
That's what we for. We brothers and sisters of one another, helping each other.
That's right.
That's correct. That is correct. All right. Okay, so big program coming next Sunday. Hour to an hour and a half program coming next Sunday. And my understanding is from last week's meeting is that we're going to have someone actually open the program for you, Adam, with dua and some general introductions. Am I correct in remembering that?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Tyler stressed that.
Okay. So has a decision? Assalamu alaikum, Sister Khalida.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alhamdulillah. I'm in the imam's office, so I can have some peace. I hope everybody's having a good day.
Yes.
All right. So was a decision made as to who is actually going to open next Sunday? Was Talib wanting to do it himself?
I mean, that's the way I took it. So I thought it was by acclamation. He convinced me.
Okay.
I mean, didn't you hear it that way?
That's the way I heard it, but I know that we didn't.
Even though he didn't say I'll do it.
Right.
He said I'll do it.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
But we need to make sure that what we heard is what he understood himself. That we need to do.
Yes. Because I know that I mentioned that we wanted to kind of roll through that this morning of exactly how that was going to take place. Because you had to understand whose mic needs to be open, who needs to be prepared to start the program on time, those type things, and prepare for it. So I know, Sister Martha, you had actually indicated that you might want to do something along those lines. Am I correct in that?
I never shy away from it, but I don't remember saying so.
Okay.
But being on the Adam, you don't need moderation. I mean moderator, but just an introductor. Well, you know what I'm saying. So I don't mind doing it if Talib had not indicated that. When he comes on, he can verify one way or the other, and then if such, I'll be more than happy to do that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. I'll talk about your days in 2014. 2013.
All right.
Okay, so the plan that we made, the flyers that we've created, and I think most of us have been placing those out in social media. I hope they're being shared in masjids that we frequent as well. I haven't had a whole bunch of registrations come across, and I was really fearful of that from the very beginning of that particular practice of depending on people registering, going to the website and registering, and then there having to be a follow-up step of sending them the Zoom link. I don't like multiple steps in much of anything that I do. I've found them to be cumbersome, and typically people get kind of turned off on that. There's too much work for them. They don't have the attention span for it. That's what I've found. So that being the case, what do you guys think about posting both the flyers, and I would just simply start with the one for next week, and along with the Zoom link for it? Just to make sure that people have all the information.
Right. And last evening I made the announcement for that as well, and told everyone to look forward to, and I didn't think about you if you want to attend, register. That was not on my tongue. So now I have to go back and try to send out these emails, inshallah. But you're so correct.
And also, Brother Lewis, have you already touched bases with the conveners of imams, the people who a lot of believers go to their website and check up on, like Imam Bashir Ali? I know I had him post an event that I had before on the website based on just working with him in reference to the conferences he had for the imams. So when we build relationships with people, make sure that we are also reaching out to them when we have an event, because they will help them and they will promote and they will post on their websites. And these are the people who are forward in our community. I sent Imam Yahya Abdullah something, the post, the major people who are leading, whether other people are looking forward to advice, because I know they're going to start sharing Ramadan information and people are going to be checking their websites.
Right. Yeah, you're correct. And that's something, I don't think Talib's done that, and I know that I didn't do it. But yeah, that's something we definitely need to do, because they've actually invited us, talking about the conveners of Imam, they've actually invited us to post stuff or play stuff with them that they can post on our behalf on their website. And I don't think we've taken advantage of that opportunity often enough.
Imam Bashir, he used to be the main go-to person. He used to post all the events.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make sure. Don't forget about them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I sound like, well, me being the convener for the Southern section, I did forward the information out to in the Southern section.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. And I reiterated it with the Florida Conference of Muslim Americans this morning. And Imam Tariq, I want to ask permission to suggest that we have you on our first month Sunday morning. We meet at 7 a.m., excuse me, on the first Sunday of each month. Can I put you down for the next month, inshallah? That's Ramadan, I know, starting, but
can we talk after this program sometime after this program?
Okay, let me make a note to myself.
You still have my number, huh?
Yes, I do.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, then. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you all.
Imam Talib, how are you?
Oh, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Okay.
He was doing his honeydews. His honeydews.
Yeah, and it should have been done. She should never had to ask. So that's on me.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's on me. But it's done and over with till the next time.
All right. Well,
probably just about when I get off this call, there'll be something else I need to do, but it's all good.
Well, if you want something done, ask a busy man.
Is that Rashid Salam on here and Manira DeLacy Uma?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Walaikum salam. I haven't heard from Rashad. Is that Rashid Salam?
That is Rashid Salam, the very one. Rashid Salam actual, as they would say in the military.
Well,
he is here.
Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, assalamu alaikum, brother Rashid Salam.
Hey, assalam, sister. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Wonderful, wonderful.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
All right. So, Imam Talib, we were having a discussion about you about maybe 7 or 8 minutes ago.
Come in here?
Okay.
And there is relation to next week's program.
Okay.
And the opening of that program, dua, introduction, so on and so forth.
Yes.
And the way it was remembered by some is that you had basically created that post and had volunteered to fill that post as far as introducing that program next week.
Right.
Are we wrong? We're right in thinking that.
You're not. No.
Okay.
No. You're correct.
Okay.
And I'll be I guess preparing a script, for that, and we'll run it by Adam so that he'll have some idea what's going on.
Okay. All right.
I'll be sure to offer any future announcements as well. This doesn't have anything to do with the actual program itself, but in closing, I'll be reminding people, and in fact, I'll be reminding them to tune in to Money Sense, which Adam does every Thursday, and I'll also be reminding them of the following month's 30-minute Ramadan sessions.
Okay.
And if at all possible, to have people who, those who attend on February 9th, is to send out a reminder to them close to that first Ramadan session that it will be forthcoming, so that they, and you all correct me if I'm wrong, if they're registered to be on the Zoom for February 9th, then they'll get an automatic reminder for the Ramadan sessions.
That is correct.
They don't have to re-register.
Right.
Okay. All right. I don't know if there were any other, I'll check with Adam when I pull this together to see if there were any other announcements. I suspect that there's going to have to be some creative license taken, because unless callers get out of hand with their questions and comments, I don't necessarily want to if unless we have 40, 50 people on the call, I don't necessarily want to limit people to 1 or 2 minutes. So we'll have to kind of play that by ear. I don't know, and I'll certainly ask now if there were any other suggestions. I was going to treat this as a combined group. That is, there may be some non-Muslims on the call. I don't know, but I would, in opening with the Bismillah and Al-Fatiha, I would also translate it in English. And then introduce our purpose, purpose and goals for that, for this particular session, and then offer an introduction to Imam Adam Beya, with the focus being on his being an accountant, and essentially, without saying it, and Adam, how long have you been an accountant?
When I start training to be an accountant. No.
No, in other words, I want to be. I don't want to have to say, he just started accounting in January of 2024. I mean,
yeah, no. I got my first job as an accountant in December. Dang, how long has it been?
Okay,
December 1980. 1980. No, 1978. No, 1977.
Oh, okay. All right. So
I don't even remember.
Okay, and that's good.
I started training at birth.
Yes. Yes.
Now my mother worked for Internal Revenue Service.
Yeah,
and I used to go to work with her every day in the womb.
So for that matter, could you give us a mini bio? Everybody provide a mini bio so we can know how to introduce you, inshallah.
Yeah, I have when I get them. But if ever can have a meeting and talk about was it physical or mental, then I can talk about me being an accountant, whether it's spiritual, physical, or mental. I
don't know. so what I want to do is all I'm trying to do is to show the audience that you are qualified to be speaking on
yes, sir.
Those topics for that day. To offer you some relief, when I speak about those things that we are going to be talking about, I'll let people know that they won't be in any particular order. So if you can decide where you want to go with the talk, and what I'll do is just check off on my list a topic that you had discussed, and will this will this and other programs be recorded, Edward?
Yeah, everything's going to be recorded. We just have to make the decision as to, so there's two decisions to be made. Number one is if we want to broadcast it live either on YouTube or Facebook on that particular date. We don't have to, because you can always go and actually put it on YouTube, or there's a Facebook channel I can never remember the name of. You can actually go back and place it later on any of those platforms. So that's one decision. And then the other decision is whether or not we want these to be private and people to have to request them, or we want to make it public so people can view it whenever they want to.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of doing something on a Zoom platform or WebEx, is that then you're able to manipulate it and use it either live right then or later on, or do pieces of it, cut it into shorts and that type of thing.
Okay. Okay. So is that to say, and I'm just asking, if we were to, let me pull something up real quick. Seminars, events, personal finance. Okay, so if we were to do something like, oh, you know what? Oh, did they do it automatically? No, they didn't. Okay. Well, that's okay. I'll deal with that. So, am I to understand you to say that we could look at something like Graceline's personal finance page or the seminars and events page and have people request to see our presentation?
We could do that. I'm gonna say that that's again, we had this discussion before you got on too. Okay. It's a difficult ask.
Okay.
To ask people to take more than one step.
Okay.
To accomplish something, right?
Okay. All right. Yes, you're right. Yes.
So either if you're going to have it on the web on our webpage, on our our website, then they either have to be able to just click it and watch it or listen to it, because you can do video or audio or both.
Okay.
Or you have to direct them to something that they can always go back to, like join our YouTube page.
Okay.
And then they can always just go to YouTube and watch whatever of our videos or whatever that they want
to. Okay. What was in my absence, was there any decision made?
No, okay. Not at all. Not at all. It was kind of just a general discussion. And I'll tell you what led to it is that as far as the registrations go, we haven't had a whole bunch of people register so far.
Okay.
And obviously my fear is just that taking people to that extra step.
Right.
They've got the flyer. Now we need you to go to the website and click this button and put in this information. And if you do all that, then we'll send you the Zoom link.
Mm-hmm.
That may be too much for some people. That they're going to look at the flyer, and in looking at the flyer, they're not seeing everything that they want to see. and they're going to wait for something else. And I may be wrong on that, but I'm just saying the results so far is that we don't have a lot of registrants.
Okay. And from what I understand, it appears as though it won't, for other than what I'm going to pass out at Masjid Muhammad, it appears as though it won't be in their official announcements until Friday. I may have an opportunity to either make an announcement or have an announcement made over the rostrum. And I will be, inshallah, I will be having actual hard copies of the flyer as well. So we may be getting a lot of last minute registrations.
Okay. Sister Kalita had some really good ideas, I think, also. And definitely something that we're aware of, that we haven't taken advantage of, that has to do with actually getting this information to the conveners of imams and having them place it on their website.
Okay.
I don't visit their website.
Have we informed the 1,300 something people that are already registered with us?
We have not.
Okay.
So this is part of the question, because that can start happening today. It's just whether or not in doing it, we want to just put the flyers on there, or we want to put the complete information, flyers and the Zoom information, out to them.
Now, question, I thought that
I
was
would tell you the Zoom, for people that are already registered with us, I would give them the Zoom link.
Okay,
Can we
that's no
call
problem.
them? I had made a suggestion in the chat a couple of weeks back, or maybe last week, about calling them. You're talking about the people who filled out that pamphlet, right? If we could split it between us and call them, also doing what Imam Talib is saying, send them the Zoom link and everything, but we need to reach out to them personally. I know I handed those pamphlets out almost a year ago at the Eid, and a lot of people did register based on what I've seen off the list, but we need to make a personal contact. And additionally, many of us follow Sister Fitra. She put out, I got an email from her yesterday stating that she's opening up her website for, it says, advertise your event on her website. So she has a good following too. And she grew her personally. I remember her being at the Imam's Wife Retreat. She was trying to get the imams to start tuning in and participating. And she was asking them personally to come on her program and passing out letters, and she grew her network. So we can do it. We can use some of those same strategies, inshallah.
I would definitely, that would have been like my second, if I was thinking, you have conveners of imams and then you have study al-Islam. Those would be two places, obviously, that we should reach out to. And within this organization, Graceline Community, don't, as long as you're representing Graceline, you have autonomy. There's nobody's going to tell you not to do something positive if you're representing Graceline Community.
Alhamdulillah.
Right? So if that is open and you have that line of communication with Sister Fitra, by all means, go right ahead and do what you know is right.
Okay. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. And I think whoever has the best relationship with conveners of imams, whatever that pathway is to get information to them that they can share with the community, we should also do that. And then we should start doing that every time that we do anything.
Sister Kalita, I got the same email that you're referencing, Sister Fitra Muhammad. But I can't recall, was she charging for that ad?
I think I believe so. I believe it's offering advertising space, if I recall, because I just scanned through the email yesterday.
Right. Yeah, I kind of scanned through it. And seems like I recall there's also also a fee attached to it, and it seemed, I thought it might have said, or maybe I just kind of made this up in my own head, that there was limited space or limited opportunity, for people to do that. I'll take a closer look at it, and I would also remind us that we do the best we can with the process that we've already committed to, that is for February the 9th, and then each week during the month of Ramadan. But I would also have us to keep in mind that from my perspective, this is a long-term strategy where I hope we have regular programming on a consistent basis, and at least at least weekly, because I think that's what it's. For example, I think that's what it's going to take in order for us to fully implement the financial freedom plan. To offer the 50-30-20 plan, so that people are willing to purchase the workbook, for their own benefit. And I do believe the last time we did speak about the workbook that there was to be a fee, for that. And I will check, or maybe some of you know, I believe there is a technical way that we could have them access that workbook, particularly if we're charging for it, where they would not be able to share it with someone else. We probably would have to convert it into an ebook.
I have it here.
Huh?
I found the advertisement. First, it just says new opportunity to share your event on Study Al-Islam. And then it goes on to say, you're growing and so are their fees to sustain yearly operation. To support and maintain the educational programs and standards of quality you are accustomed to on Study Al-Islam, I will continue to be creative and develop ways to fundraise through your useful services. As part of this effort, I have an idea that I think you will agree is a win-win for all, a new opportunity for organizations to share events on Study Al-Islam and announce live during a 15-second public service announcement, PSA, on 2 Sundays in any given month upon availability. To announce your next event on Study Al-Islam, send your flyer and information to studyalislam@gmail.com and type in the subject line, announce live my event. Fitra Muhammad, executive producer of Study Al-Islam.
Okay. Okay. All right.
That sounds pretty straightforward. There's did not seem to be any cost associated with that, at least initially.
Right.
So
there will be a cost.
let's push it and see what the feedback is.
My might I suggest, and you all make this decision. I mean, who is going to do that, and will we, if we agree that we will, are we looking to do it? I don't know if we'll be ready to do it, or even if she'll be ready to do it for February 9th. But we can certainly look towards those 5 sessions in March.
Well, Sister Kalita and her brilliant mind came up with a great idea, so we're going to burden her with making those inquiries and seeing what can be accomplished.
Go along.
Okay.
I'm gonna get you, Brother Edwards. No, I'm reading between the lines, but I'm gonna get you. I would definitely do that. I do. Well, I did have her number. I haven't called her in a long time, but I will reach out to her email, and I know how to get it. So yes.
Okay. All right.
So I was somewhere, I think, looking towards the future of what it is we plan on continuing doing. I was referring to the next series that we may want to plan, which could be either the financial freedom, the financial freedom seminars, and I don't know how you all see that working. Whether there will be just one seminar to cover that, followed by an opportunity for people to purchase the workbook. I was letting us know that there is a way for them to purchase the workbook as an ebook, where it would only come to them. They would not be able to share it with anyone else. And we could put a time limit on its use. So whatever they would pay for this ebook, it would be, I'm gonna just throw this out, it would be good for a year. Or you could say it's good for 6 months or 9 months. I mean, however you want to do it. But I'm only suggesting it so that we don't end up issuing 5 or 6 books, in some other format, and then find the workbook scattered, throughout the community, and God only knows where else. So those are just things for us to consider. I would also be willing to offer some seminars on wills and powers of attorney, advanced directives, And in doing so, I would want to encourage all of the registrants. Well, they wouldn't have to do it, I would know. But those who register for that seminar, having the state in which they reside would help me to hone in on those particular states where I know people have registered for the event. So in advertising my presentation, advanced registration would be best because it would provide me with the opportunity to pull certain documents that I may not already have. So, I mean, just by example, I don't think I have anything for, I don't think I have anything for Georgia or New York, Pennsylvania. Yeah, just off the top of my head, I know I've not pulled any info for those. So if people registered in advance and I know you are from that particular state, I can have the documents available as well as some of the nuances that may be associated with those documents.
Assalamu alaikum.
That's down the line. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
As you were speaking, and I was thinking of how when you say, I know you want to keep the book availability with those who register. Is it will it work with putting a code, or I know that others have had way to lock something when you use it, that is specifically for you, for your use and only through your coding, or
well,
I think that's
I was only thinking about when I offered what I did. This is information that we are currently researching in my own business. We have we have a new book coming out. It's an instructional. It's at $149, and we don't want it shared with others. Now, the key to this process that we've been researching, and I think we've found the answer. Right now, we just weigh in costs. Is what Edward had said earlier about not allowing for or not having people take too many steps in order to be able to access the information. So that I would keep in mind. If there are other ideas out there for how we distribute this workbook, and I'm even willing to entertain, I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm just willing to entertain making sure that the workbook, in fact, I don't know if this has been done yet or not, but I would suggest that it be done, is to copyright the information that's in the workbook. Make sure that all of the that we have that in order, and just make the book available through regular channels. The theory there being that I know in my case, and I'm gonna just speak for myself, I'm more interested in getting the information to you so that at least I know I've done what I could, where you didn't have to pay anything. Now, in the future, should you require my hands-on expertise, then that I'm going to charge you for. But just to get you the basic information, that information that you should have gotten, years ago. I mean, and we haven't discussed this, but I was certainly reminded because through an extended family member, I found out we knew someone on the plane that just the one that just crashed here in DC. So and it got me to thinking that this young woman, Kia Duggins, 30 years old, was preparing to start teaching, a lawyer. She was preparing to start teaching at Howard University next week. She died in the plane crash. And I said to my wife, because she was 30, she more than likely didn't have a will. Now, your thought may be, well, how much asset could a 30-year-old have? A whole lot when you consider it was an American Airlines plane and that lawsuits, if not already been filed, are coming down the pike. Let's say there's a settlement 4 or 5 years from now, and all of the occupants of the plane, their families are to receive $2 million. Your will, premature as it may sound, could have designated who you would want to handle your estate in the event of your early death. So, so I'm saying all that to say that this information on wills and powers of attorney and healthcare directives and advance directives and, end of life decisions, people need to have them now. And so anyway, I mean, I don't want to dominate this conversation, but I hope I'm giving you all some insight as to the type of presentation that I would want to do to make sure that people get this information. And the only I guess the only benefit that I would get out of it would be capturing those email addresses in order to be able to send them the info. Now, what they do with it after that's going to be on them, but they've got it. So, so that's the sort of presentation that I'm willing to do, and it can be done. I would suggest that it be done in a series. So only because, and it could be a couple of series, maybe just 2, because it's overwhelming to get this information in one session. I would break it down so that people don't become overwhelmed and confused, because I can tell you, a confused mind does nothing. When you got stuff all jumbled up in your head, you ain't gonna act like a thing. You don't know where to start. You don't know where to begin. So I would suggest that we keep that in mind too, even when Omar does his presentation. Can't give people too much at one time, particularly when it's new information. You trying to help somebody get out of debt, and you start using language, like compound interest and annual percentage rates and all that, man. When they start hearing all that, I'm telling you, when you start talking about money to non-money people, they're going to get confused up in their head. They can only take small bites. So, and I mean, and the only saving grace for me was that I got the same information in small bites. I was on a learning curve to get to the point where I am now. I didn't have a credit card until my wife got one, and she put my name on her credit card. So so I was on a learning curve, and it was in small pieces. And it didn't hurt that, I was became, I didn't even know this is what I was. This is more new language for me. I became the chief financial